Welcome to the channel, guys. So as you can see here, we've got a box. It's from Nodus. Wes from Nodus has sent us out a brand new watch to review. It's the Retrospect 3. For those who know, about a couple of months ago I was sent this watch by a friend, by a viewer, Tony from the Blue Mountains. It's the Sector, and basically I loved it. I really do. I think this watch has really got a lot going for it. But when I reviewed the watch, the bracelet, the end links, they weren't, but they basically were misplaced. Tony had misplaced them, so he sent me the watch and the bracelet, but no end links. So I contacted Nodus, and Wes was kind enough to say, you know what, mate, I loved your review, I'll send you out the end link. So he did, so thank you very much, Wes. So now I can wear this watch with pride. It's actually a really cool field watch, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. It's petite size, oversized crown, really nice. But we're not here for this, guys. We're here for the brand new watch, the Retrospect 3. So I've not actually had the pleasure of reviewing the first or second version. This is the third iteration, so I don't know much about those particular watches. This is the first time I've seen this. So I'm going to tell you guys hands-on what this is like, how it feels, its finishing, everything. So straight off the bat, what we have is a case diameter of 40.5 millimeters. The lug-to-lug distance is 48 mil. The thickness or the case height comes in at 13.9, and the lug width is 22 mil. So even though it has those specs at 40.5 mil on the case, if you notice the bezel actually extends past the case, so the bezel is 42 millimeters, and that's actually a good thing because it allows you, at number one, to grab the bezel quite easily at any level, whether you're near the solid end links, near the side of the case, no problems. Really cool. But the presence of the watch looks bigger, being a 42 mil. So let's put this on the wrist and we'll check it out what it looks like. Okay, so that's what the watch looks like on my 7-inch wrist, and as you can see, it fits quite well, beautifully balanced. It's a 48 mil lug to lug, so it's not overhanging the width of the wrist. At 13.9 millimeters case height to the top of that sapphire crystal, again, for a dive watch, not a problem. The bracelet from 22 tapers down to 18. It seems to be a really, in fact, one of the nicest experiences of a H-link. It's not only is it comfortable, but it's also beautifully finished, really well finished. So it tapers down, you've got a nice sign clasp, and tapers back up to 22. So we'll take it off the wrist. So the watch is nicely balanced, as you can see. It comes in size to my 7-inch wrist. It weighs around 164 grams. So that's pretty much what you'd expect from a 42 millimeter case diameter, 13.9 case thickness. So it's pretty much on par. But the watch feels premium. It really does, guys. The finishing on this is really nice. The look is quite impressive, but the presence is good on the wrist. So now the case, if you have a look at it, there's brushing on the side of the case with brushing on the top of the lugs, and a nice chamfer that's highly polished on both sides. It does also offer drilled lugs, which is a big plus when changing straps, but not that you'd need them on this bracelet, because the bracelet itself has solid end links that are quick release. So that's a huge plus. You can basically swap this out in a couple of seconds, toolless, no problems. So that's a real good addition. But the bracelet is fantastic. I'm really impressed that it's finishing, its comfort. There's a little bit of wobble on it, but doesn't seem to affect the performance or wearability. It does also offer solid screw pins, and like I said, a nice milled clasp and dual locking system signed clasp. So a beautiful experience on the wrist, guys. Looking at the movement of the watch, we've got a Series 2 NH35 movement. It's regulated to 4 positions. So I'll show you guys something in here. There you go. So as you can see, this is, there you go, there's this warranty card. This is a demo version, so it's not a production copy. So if you see a couple of discrepancies, maybe a mark here or there or something on the dial, that's because it is a demo. It's just a watch that's being sent out to reviewers like myself. I'm going to forward it on to the next reviewer. It is a demo model, but as you can see on the back of this, it's been basically regulated to 4 different positions: crown up, crown down, the 12-hour down, as well as dial up. So this, in real life, it's been yielding somewhere about 4 to 5 seconds a day in the plus zone, which is quite good. Okay, so getting back to the watch, as you can see, the watch has a sapphire dome crystal. It's actually a double dome. Clarity is great. Clarity is fantastic. It's got blue anti-reflective coating on the underside. It's doing a really nice job. No problems whatsoever. That dial is a sandwich dial, and it's got a nice aggressive look with those markers. To me it looks like shark's teeth, and it's a nice aggressive look. Being a sandwich dial, as you can see, the markers themselves seem to be on a different level, quite nice. Even the date window, if you have a look at it, there's a couple of levels there, but it's also lume. There's a surrounding lume around that date window, so it's a really nice experience looking at this thing in subdued light. So speaking of lume, let me show you guys the lume. So as you can see, very nicely balanced, beautifully applied. It features C3X1 lume, so it's a really long lasting experience. It's nice and bright. Even the bezel itself, as you can see from the pip and the markers, which is quite good. Getting onto that bezel, as you can see, it's a ceramic insert. It's basically a brushed ceramic insert, and you saw the lume. It's lume infilled on the markers and the pip. Really nice. One of the nicest experiences. Again, the bezel action is perfect. There's 120 click unidirectional. As you can see, nice and crisp. No backplay. It just settles into position and locks in perfectly. So spot on, really nice, really crisp. It's not a mushy experience. It's actually a precise, wonderful, toolish experience, which is lovely to hold. So looking at the dial again, the markers at 12, 3 and 6, they're slightly longer and more pronounced than the rest of the markers, but again, quite a nice design, balanced. It seems to give you a good indication of where you are. So branding, you've got the Nodus, their logo, plus Retrospect written on the watch. So the watch features the NH35 Series 2 movement, and like I said, it's regulated. We'll unscrew the crown. The crown itself is a 7.5mm oversized crown, and it's signed, and it's really easy to grip. The knurling on it is lovely. We unscrew it, it pops out. We can hack the movement, so as you can see, the seconds hand has stopped. We can adjust the time that suits us. There you go. Lock that in. Single click, and we can adjust the date as well. So standard Seiko, standard NH35 movement. The winding experience, quite firm, quite nice actually, very good resistance on that. And the lockdown, latch down experience, we push in, it picks it up, locks in, 200 meters of water resistance. So I think overall the finishing, the value, it's very, very good. The watch comes in at around $475 US. The finishing of the watch is very, very good. In fact, it's on a premium level. And look, I've compared, I'll give an example. I had a couple of watches on the channel just recently from China, and both the watches I said, look, the finishing is quite good. It was pretty good for a watch of that caliber, for that price point, around $230, $240. But this thing here, it feels premium. The finishing on this is premium. You're paying $475, but like I said, the finishing itself seems to speak for itself. It's really nice. It's more of your high level Swiss quality level. So really nice, really good in the hand. Now, are there any negatives of the watch? Obviously, there's negatives with every watch. And for me, look, I think the styling of the watch is great. I think it's quite simple, clean, what they've done. Very balanced on the dial, not an issue. Negative wise, I don't know, I'd be pretty much nitpicked to find any negatives of the watch, apart from maybe a on the fly adjustment clasp. You know, you've only got 3 micro adjustments. Would have been nice to have maybe 1 more, 2 more, or an on the fly. Apart from that, guys, really it's just a good offering, a good proposition. It really is. At $475, you're getting a premium finished watch, a really good bezel, fantastic lume, solid movement. If you want to be nitpicky, some people might say, oh, give us a better movement rather than the NH35. Neither here nor there for me, guys. It really isn't. At the end of the day, you're buying yourself a diver that you want to use. Well, you've got a great, robust movement, tried, tested, no problems. A decent offering from Nodus, guys. I suggest you get on their webpage, check them out. It's finished nicely, it's balanced, it feels good, it looks great. The dial and the bezel, that ceramic brush ceramic, looks great. So if you're into this sort of stuff, guys, I suggest you check them out. I wanted to share my opinion on it. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next video.